Journey Together is already turning out to be a real trip.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Scheduled for late March 2025, the hype and fear is already hitting critical levels, and eBay sold listings are already more than 300% markup. This is truly a journey together off of a cliff. So how do you navigate this kind of market, and what can you really do about it? Today, I'll break down 3 common FOMO mindsets, putting ourselves in the shoes of the buyer and exploring why they're risky and what history tells us about these situations. By the end, you'll know how to avoid overpaying and make some strategic collecting decisions. Let's go into mindset number 1, which is I'll pay whatever it takes to have product day one. If you're thinking I'll pay whatever I need to ensure I have product on day one, consider this. Buying from secondary market resellers doesn't guarantee you'll get what you paid for. Resellers have their own orders canceled. This is a common occurrence. Allocations can fall short. Prices could drastically change up or down by release date. Rarely does anyone win in that situation. And should pre-ordering really be of interest to you, make sure it's through a credible seller like the Pokemon official website. Additionally, you need to be sure that when you are being charged for this, that you're not being charged until shipping is confirmed. Anything else is just an interest-free loan to the seller and ultimately may just be refunded to you. You've got to do your best to think about this for the long term. Pokemon has a track record of ensuring product availability over time. It just takes patience. So what about mindset number 2? I need to buy before prices go higher. This mindset is one of the most common. It's one of the most dangerous. Right now, speculative pricing is driving these inflated prices. People are already factoring in potential increases, and others are stacking that even further on top of it. It's a FOMO spiral. It's speculation on speculation. We don't even know what's in this set. How can we fairly try to price a 3 times or more market value for a product we don't know the contents of? We've seen this before during the Sword and Shield era, leading into 151, Prismatic Evolutions, and now Journey Together. Initial sellouts are caused by speculative buying, but they eventually stabilize as reprints and restocks enter the market. Markets don't move straight up forever. Prices will find a fair value, but it takes time. Number 3, what's that mindset? I'll buy it and I'll flip it for profit. Regardless of how you feel about resellers flipping Pokemon products, it does work. Until it doesn't. Every time you flip successfully, it builds your confidence, encouraging you to do it again, and do it again, and do it bigger. But here's the reality. This behavior only works as long as demand outpaces supply. Eventually, supply will catch up. And when it does, resellers holding the bag face devastating consequences, especially if their purchase price wasn't already inflated. What we saw during the pandemic was Vivid Voltage and Shining Fates. The hype that was driven was through the roof. There were lines in stores before openings. There were fights in parking lots. Does that sound familiar to you? But when supply caught up, prices evened out. There's a reason until late last year, you could find a Shining Fates ETB on the Pokemon Center. And you can still find a Vivid Voltage box, a product people literally were fighting for. And why does this keep happening? Something we need to discuss. Pokemon often uses scarcity to drive excitement, especially for highly anticipated sets. They really want to squeeze that juice. But this strategy only works well when the buyer pool is small. Pokemon products can move by using this strategy when there's not that many buyers. But during a bull market, like we're in right now, it amplifies FOMO, creating speculative buying, speculative frenzying, like we're seeing right now with Prismatic Evolutions and Journey Together. History shows us that these spikes are temporary. Sets like Shining Fates, Crown Zenith, 151 saw stabilization and horizontal trends as supply met demand. It's a pattern we've seen time and time again. Prismatic Evolutions and Journey Together will likely follow the same path. As they say, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And while we're on the topic, if you've already paid a high markup, please do not feel ashamed. The Pokemon market can be overwhelming. If FOMO affects all of us, even people who have been collecting years, don't let them try and fool you that they're these geniuses. As the bull market presses forward, you will hear greater and grander predictions about how unavailable Pokemon is. Beware of euphoria. It is the surest telltale sign of a critical point in any bull market. The key is to learn and to make smarter decisions going forward. Remember, Pokemon typically prints sets for 2 to 2.5 years. That's the duration of the cards remaining in the TCG for the standard format. There will be opportunities to get Prismatic and Journey together at a fair price if you're willing to wait. Don't let FOMO, please don't let FOMO drive your decisions, whether it's rushing to secure product on day one, or overpaying out of fear, or flipping for profit. These all typically lead to regret. So Pokemon's supply strategy will catch up. It just takes some patience. And for evidence of this, if you're feeling skeptical, check out my Prismatic Evolutions video here. It's where I go into a deep dive on historical events and trends that we've seen in the past. Let me know in the comments, were you able to secure one of these ETBs? Or have you planned to? Are you planning to support this release? What's your game plan? I look forward to keeping up this conversation in the comments. I do my best to respond to every single one. So until then, please stay safe. Much love to you, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.